Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for clicking on this video. The Club World Cup just ended. I just watched the entire game. Donald Trump is a Club World Cup champion, and Madueke is... I do apologize because I severely underestimated the amount of comments I would be getting. Honestly, I said 20 good ones, and I got a lot of good ones. 180 comments is absolutely ridiculous. Thank you all so much for all your comments. I'm going to read every single one, and I apologize if you don't see your comment in this video. Next time, I will be better prepared, and I will make a longer video. But for right now, we are going to be getting into some juicy hot takes. Let's begin. First up, Oscar Bob should be in our starting 11. I'm not too sure how to really go about answering this. Do I think he should be in the starting lineup right now? In our first 11, if we were to create Manchester City's best 11, I don't think Oscar Bob fits in right now. But like I said in previous videos, I want young players to be given a chance. I would love for him to start in the match against Wolves in our first Premier League match.
I love you. I never wish to be parted from you from this day on.
So talented, we would all love Oscar Bob to flourish in this team. Let's give him a chance, he deserves it. Next up, Kevin De Bruyne is the best midfielder of all time, not just in the Premier League.
Wow.
Before I react to that, ladies and gentlemen, this is a top 100 players of all time list that I saw on Twitter. Let me know down in the comments if you want me to make an entire video dissecting this list from top to bottom. And as you can see, Kevin De Bruyne is 54th on this list, and depending on who you are and which team you support, that can either be way too high or way too low. Now, do I agree with that? Look, I love Kevin De Bruyne. He's my number one option. We all love Kevin De Bruyne. I love the enthusiasm of this comment and this hot take, but if we're being absolutely realistic, no, you all know me. I think Maradona is the greatest player of all time, and he's an attacking midfielder. And obviously, Zico, I watched him win a Turkish Super Cup with Fenerbahce when I was a kid. I've loved Zico ever since I was a kid. So there are players like Zico and Maradona that I still hold in higher regard than Kevin De Bruyne. I love the enthusiasm. I will say of the 21st century, there is no midfielder I am choosing above Kevin De Bruyne.
That's right, I said it!
Next one, hot take. I think Khusanov is our best center half, and Pep needs to start him. He was amazing when he played. This hot take really has two parts. The latter isn't really a hot take in my opinion. I think we all can agree, we all as City fans can agree that Abdülkadir needs to be playing so much more than he's been playing recently. That first part, do I believe he's our best center half? Again, I love these hot and controversial takes. It's totally awesome to have this opinion and to not have this opinion. Of course, we want to have diversity of opinion. I believe that he isn't. Do I believe he has a potential to? Yes. If I were to give it to somebody right now, it'll be Joško Gvardiol. Next one, Aguero is the most underrated striker in Premier League history. This isn't really a hot, and controversial take in my opinion, because it is rather true in my opinion. Whenever I see people make their all-time strikers list, Aguero doesn't really get mentioned. There are real-life human beings who would rank Harry Kane above Sergio Aguero. And there are people that actually think that Didier Drogba is a better striker than Sergio Kun Aguero in the Premier League. No. Hot take, Matheus Nunes has the potential to be a world-class right-back for the next few seasons. He's only had 6 months of playing in that position, and he's already done so well. Our most overhated player by far. I love that you brought Matheus Nunes into this. I would say that I don't believe he's our most overhated player. You could be saying he's our most underrated player. I definitely would agree with that. I think City fans hate, Ederson more. I think City fans hate Grealish more, Doku more, Ilkay Gundogan and Kovacic more. I don't think Matheus Nunes is our most overhated player. Do I believe he has the potential to be a world-class right-back for the next few seasons? I'm sorry, but no. To be world class, ladies and gentlemen, to actually be world class, you have to be in the top 1 or 2 in your position in the world. There shouldn't be a team in world football that you do not play and start for, apart from maybe like 1, maybe 2. That's what world class means to me.
Okay, cool.
If he develops more, he's going to be one of the best right backs in the world. World class, though, that literally means like Hakimi level. I'm going to say no for now. This next one brings up Abdulkadir once again. Hot take, Khusanov has to start because we need his pace against counterattacks, which are destroying us at the moment.
I feel the need for speed.
Listen, I love Abdulkadir Khusanov. Right now, I still think our center half partnership is still Joško Gvardiol and Ruben Diaz. Do I think that Khusanov could potentially displace one of them in the future? I'm not 100% sure about that, but like I said, if we give him the chances and he performs well, if he performs more and better than Ruben Diaz 100%, I want to see Khusanov and Joško Gvardiol. I think that'll be absolutely extraordinary. I don't care what you did in the treble-winning season. Whoever's playing the best now deserves to be playing. Could he be playing at that right back position? 100%. Could we be employing a 5 at the back formation? You never know with Pep Guardiola, and if Abdulkadir, Ruben Diaz, and Joško Gvardiol, that's obviously a pipe dream. But imagine, that would be pretty good. Next one, Pep and Bernardo Silva are expecting a baby. Just gonna move on. A good shot-stopping keeper with average ball-playing abilities will bring more success to the club than a good ball-playing one with average shot-stopping abilities. Let it be known that Mr. Post7697 hates Ederson. I'm just kidding. He doesn't hate Ederson. Nobody hates Ederson, but we have to put reality into our minds and into our speech. Ederson's shot-stopping abilities are, I don't think they're average. I think they're slightly above average. But do I think that it's good enough for us to challenge for the title and for, cup games when we really, really need a goalkeeper? No. Goalkeepers are a very strange position when it comes to age. Some goalkeepers can actually peak in their mid-30s, and then in their 20s, they're just absolutely average. Can Ederson get better at shot stopping? Yes, and I still want to give him a chance for this season, but if those moments still come up and he's still falling up short in his shot stopping abilities, like this guy mentioned in his average shot stopping abilities, then I think it's time we actually question his future at the club. But to directly respond to this hot take, I don't really think it's a hot take. I think it's a hot take for those City fans that love Ederson and that don't want him to leave. It might be a hot take to them. But for me, I am 100%, this is 100% spot on. Next one, Rodri has surpassed Yaya Toure as the greatest defensive midfielder in Manchester City's history. The one thing I'm going to be saying about this hot take, and MCFC Reacts here actually said the exact same thing I'm about to say. Toure really wasn't a defensive midfielder. You could tweak that and say Rodri has surpassed Yaya Toure in terms of the best Man City midfielders of all time. That would be controversial and that would be absolutely juicy to discuss. In my opinion, I would say yes, but I really love Yaya Toure, so I wouldn't be mad at somebody that says Rodri still has a couple more years left. I wouldn't be mad at somebody saying Yaya Toure is still better because of that one season that he had. I'm absolutely not going to disagree with that. But in my opinion, yes, what Rodri's done in terms of the Ballon d'Or and what he's done for league titles and us in the Champions League, I believe he has. Hot take, but it's more like a fun fact. Johnny Stones and Rodri have never been in the same starting 11 since June 11, 2023, the UCL final game.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
I believe it was June 10th. Gotcha. This next one, City will win the Premier League next season. If you look at City's squad and every position except right back, we're absolutely cooking here. Maybe we might not win against every single top 6 club, as always, but over the course of the season, we'll win consistently like we always do.
It's never gonna happen.
This next Premier League season has got a lot of amazing teams in it. Arsenal are obviously going to be bolstering their squad. Gyökeres is coming in, and obviously they've got some sensational players who've now been, more experienced because of the last Premier League season. Liverpool is obviously still the best team in the league right now, and they obviously added Florian Wirtz. Chelsea are coming up. Manchester United made 2 amazing signings, in my opinion, and of course there are other amazing teams in there. Newcastle, obviously, we still got to worry about them. Absolutely sensational. That's a good thing in my opinion, because all those amazing teams can take points off each other. We have to focus on the games outside the top 6 as much as the top 6 themselves. Do I realistically think that Manchester City could win the Premier League next season? Obviously, in football, anything can happen. Does City have the highest chance of winning the Premier League next season? Absolutely not. This next one's really juicy. Diaz doesn't have that much hunger in him anymore.
Damn.
This might sound hot and controversial, but I actually kind of agree with this. I don't remember seeing Ruben Diaz from that treble-winning season, and even the season after, when we won the four-peat, in him now. I don't see that same Ruben Diaz. Best combination for our defense: Aït-Nouri, Gvardiol, Diaz, Khusanov.
That's pretty interesting.
Again, that might be a hot take depending on who you ask. I still think it should be Matías Núñez for now, but I do think that Abdülkadir Khusanov should be the absolute first choice center half to come off the bench and should be playing a lot more minutes. I would love for him to start against Wolves. Again, I really don't mind that. Let me know what you think. Who should be our starting defense? Would you rather have Khusanov or Matías Núñez? In my opinion, I want to see both, and I want to pick the person who utilizes their chances better and who performs better. This one is the epitome of hot and controversial. Bernardo Silva has surpassed David Silva as the best Silva in Manchester City's history. He's one of the best midfielders ever in the Premier League.
No.
Again, like previous hot and controversial takes, there are multiple parts to this comment. The second one, absolutely spot on. He's one of the most amazing midfielders I've ever seen in the Premier League. That first thing that you said, no, I don't agree with that. Bernardo Silva has not surpassed David Silva. Absolutely not. It's not one of those things that I'm absolutely, furious about, because I love both of them. There are players, there are legends, so everybody has a difference of opinion, obviously. Not for me, though. I still think David. I might be crazy, but my hot take is that James McAtee might actually go to Everton or another Premier League club and score a hat-trick against us. Again, multiple parts to this hot take. Do I think he's going to be going to another Premier League club? That can very much well happen. Yes, 100%. I think he's going to Eintracht Frankfurt for a visit, and I think he's been looked at by a lot of Bundesliga clubs. If he did go to a Premier League club, I would assume maybe like a bottom 10 club, a second half of the table club. And if he were to score a hat-trick against us, I would honestly think that might be pretty possible. If it was like in the first round of like the Carabao Cup, where he faces like a weakened Manchester City squad, possibly, but this is a very interesting comment. Hot take: Haaland is not performing anywhere near close to what he was doing in the 2023 season, and it's looking like his thirst for scoring is gone. This reminds me of that previous comment with Ruben Diaz. Is that possibly happening to our squad? Are we still hungover from that treble-winning season? Are we still hungover from winning the league for a historic fourth year in a row? Not really a hot take in my opinion, because he's not really quite performing at the level of that 2023 season. Obviously, one of the best seasons I've ever seen from a football player, regardless of any position. I'm not sure about his thirst for scoring being gone. I still think it's there. I just think with the level of personnel and our injury crisis, because of, that depreciating, the goals and all the assists and all that, his statistics have taken a hit, but I still think his thirst is there. Hot take: I think Pep Guardiola should try a 3-5-2 system, and I love this organization here in this comment, and he just wrote goalkeeper. He didn't even write Ederson. Joško Gvardiol, Ruben Diaz, and Khusanov, like exactly what I was saying before. Matias Nunez and Ait Nouri. Matias Nunez, I think, would thrive in that position. With Khusanov behind him, I think it would be so great for counterattacks. The speed on that right-hand side is astronomical. I know he's not Kyle Walker, but Matias Nunez is really quick. Reinders, Rodri, and Cherki in the midfield with Haaland and Marmoush. This is honestly a really interesting lineup. Thank you for this comment. I really like seeing this lineup because I do think that Ait Nouri and Matias Nunez would thrive in something like this. But that means that somebody like Foden and our wingers and Oscar Bob Echeverri and all those guys and Nico Gonzalez obviously are not getting minutes. But again, you can do that with any formation and any team. So this is very interesting. I don't think Pep Guardiola will ever do this, but it's nice to dream. Oscar Bob will be the new Lamine Yamal. I don't really want to, disrespect our players, but I also want to be realistic. No, for now, you do realize that Oscar Bob is, what is he, 5 years? I'm sorry, how old is he? Lamine Yamal, 17. Oscar Bob just turned 22. He's 5 years older than him. Hot take, City should consider bidding 80 million next summer for Elise. He's a real Mahrez replacement. I don't think Man City will go anywhere near Olise. He's a very talented player, but if it was up to me, much better players on the market. Hear me out. I think Haaland is better. I'm not even going to finish that comment. That is my childhood idol. Watch yourself. Hot take. Erling Haaland's debut season was the greatest debut season for any player in the history of the beautiful sport. Definitely deserved the Ballon d'Or 2023 over Lionel Messi. I'm not going to respond with this with a definite yes because I would have to go out and research all the debuts in history. But of any debut that I've ever seen in my life, nothing honestly comes close to what Erling Haaland did in terms of achievement. He might not be the best player. He might not have that skill and flair of a 5-star skiller for all of you young people that play FIFA and judge players based on that, if they have a good fucking FIFA card or not. Regardless, Erling Haaland, his achievements and the records that he broke coming into the most competitive league in the world. Remember, Man City never won a Champions League. First season with Haaland, they win it. They win everything. They win a historic treble. Paris Saint-Germain never wins it. They get rid of Mbappe. They win it the next season. Hot take. NewGorkCity is a Gundogan clone undergone facial reconstruction surgery after facial disfigurement in his early games as a teen. Not a word to anybody else. Hot take. The transfer of Cole Palmer was the most egregious in our history, and this is obviously just referring to player sales. I'm not 100% sure about this. This is pretty hot and controversial, so respect to you for putting this comment. Thank you so much. Very interesting. I would say that Cole Palmer is definitely up there, but we just can't, just look at player performances. We got to look at other players and how good they were at Manchester City. Somebody like Cole Palmer wasn't as good as Leroy Sané, but he became so much better right now than what Leroy Sané has done at Bayern Munich. But Leroy Sané at Manchester City was one of the best wingers I've possibly ever seen. So there's him, there's Cole Palmer, there's Julian Alvarez, which I still haven't gotten over. So yeah, I mean, you could gain a lot of bonus points because of the Club World Cup final. You said this before the Club World Cup final, so I'll give you props for that. Now this is a very hot take, and I appreciate this, Elijah. Hot take, Savinho will have more than 25 goal involvements next season. This first reply, that's if he can learn how to shoot. I mean, if Savinho wants to learn how to shoot, you could just watch my YouTube shorts. Do I think he's going to get 25 goal involvements? I think he's going to, in all competitions. If you're just talking the Prem, I don't think so. This doesn't sound to at 25, so, let's say if he gets 15 goals and 10 assists, that, that's actually quite high. I don't think he'll reach 25. I think he'll get 15 to 20. Prime Mahrez would dribble past Prime Van Dijk. Bro, fucking Perisic did that. Of course Mahrez would dust Van Dijk. Now this is the epitome of a hot take. Hot take. Khusanov is massively overrated by our fan base. The Uzbeks are going to be coming for you, son. My response to that is I don't think he's overrated There are some City fans that believe that Abdülkadir is like one of the best midfielders, one of the best defenders in the world right now. No, he's not. I still think he can get there. Remember, he's still very young. I'm 100% not there. No offense. He can definitely well get there. We just need to give him more time. Well, this is the end of the video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you did make it this far, consider hitting that like and subscribe button if you are new. I would love to have you on board. Let me know if you want me to dissect that top 100 players of all time list. I will show you my brilliant ball knowledge. Thanks, and I will see you all next time.